In an exclusive chat with me on the sidelines of an ISB event in Mumbai today, Professor Hansen says that banking reforms and attractive labour market can really get a lot of FDI flows into the country.
So I think there's lots of potential for the Indian economy, and so I can understand the sentiment, the positive sentiment towards it. Certainly the evidence that's for foreign direct investment in India has been increasing. I think that's all a very positive sign. I think there's more steps that India can do to even make this more attractive for investors in the future. The Indian economy right now is, the banking sector is largely government run. I think down the road, trying to make that more private can be a very, very productive move, and I think it can help to actually nurture investments in smaller enterprises where a lot of the job growth can emerge. Like other economies, I think there's still challenges in terms of making the labor market, removing wedges in the labor market to make it all the more attractive for foreign enterprises to locate here. So I see many positive signs. I also think there's challenges that can even make things all the better in the future.
Of course, University of Chicago is where you are, and where Dr. Rajan, the RBI governor, also hails from. But he's not going in for the next term. Whichever the next RBI governor going to be, what is your word of advice for him? So
previously, over the course of the last few years, the Reserve Bank of India has been very concerned about inflation. It's worked hard to try to bring inflation back to reasonable levels, and I would hope the next governor does the same too. Really, I think there's a danger in when the population, when the press, and when the government looks to monetary policy for doing too much. I also think there's been some positive moves made in terms of transparency of the public banks. I think that has been a very positive sign. I would hope that that can continue in the future. And I would hope that there can be explorations of how to make the banking sector more private and not just leave it in the hands of the government.
All right. So what do you think about how Janet Yellen is taking forward the rate hike thing? Because all the indications do suggest at this point, and many economists have also said that probably it's the time is ripe for a rate hike. What do you have to say to that?
So I believe that we should be engaging in a very slow and measured set of rate hikes in ways that are done in a very, very predictable way. I sometimes worry about the Fed is trying to not be as clear on its policies as it could be. It induces a type of policy uncertainty which investors then have to factor in, and the uncertainty alone can be a drag on the economy. So I think a more predictable approach would be better.
And what do you make of Brexit then? How is it going to behave? Are you going to see a more downturn in the way the economy in Britain is developing?
So I think Brexit is a drag on both the British economy and the U.S. economy and the world economy because of its largely because of the uncertainty it puts on the table.
All right, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of Reporter's Diary. Stay